Hi, I'm Mel Pickup, Chief Executive of Bradford Teaching Hospitals, and welcome to this week's roundup of the news from across the Trust. This week, I'm in our PPE hub. PPE, as you know, has been an integral part of our COVID response, keeping our staff and our patients safe. It's an essential element in the prevention and control of infection, and this week, I want to shine a spotlight on our fantastic Infection Prevention and Control, our IPC team. Also this week, to mark World Hearing Day, which was on Wednesday, we look at ear and hearing care. And for those of you worried about any lumps or bumps or changes in moles, we have an update about our cancer services that have been running throughout the pandemic. But first, it's paramount that we keep our hospitals, equipment, staff and our patients clean and safe, and especially so during this past year. Here's lead nurse Rosie Dobson and senior nurse Hayley Brown to explain how there's much more to IPC than just hand washing.
When the pandemic was declared, literally it affected every service. We had like a wealth of information that was coming from Public Health England. So at that time we developed action cards, and those were used basically to support for the clinical teams, to support them to make the right decisions.
We found in the hospital that we had to do a lot of outbreak management. Sometimes that involved closing bays, closing wards, and there's been lots of ward movements around the hospital as well to help facilitate what's been going on.
We just had to work together as a team, like work as one, as you know, as a whole Bradford team, and support each other.
We help to write the policies. We're there at the end of the phone to give advice. We go on the visits to give support. We look at ways that we can work better. But our patients and our staff are at our core values of what we want to promote in preventing infection.
Thank you both. For such a small team, you make a massive difference. Now, as I said, it was World Hearing Day on Wednesday this week, which highlighted that millions of people in the world are estimated to be living with hearing loss, including 34 million children, and sadly 60% of those cases are preventable. Ear and hearing care is something we specialise in at our trust, and our high-tech Listening for Life Centre based at BRI. Here's consultant ENT surgeon Professor Chris Rain, MBE, to explain at whatever age we are, we need to look after our hearing.
Hearing loss is one of the greatest disabilities ranked by the World Health Organization in the world. That's about 6% of the population. The important thing is, say, starting from childhood, we have universal newborn screening. So everybody now born since 2006, a baby is tested before they leave hospital, and then that alerts us if it passes or if it fails, it alerts us to have further hearing tests and the earlier fitment of hearing aids. With age, we naturally get reduced hearing or with profound loss. It's been shown, and we've just finished a pan-European study that shows that people with profound hearing loss, you get dementia in cognitive decline. So there is a proportional loss. So it's so important that people gradually lose their hearing, need to have hearing tests.
Thanks, Chris. That's a great reminder that we should all take really good care of our ears. Now, it's time to take a tour of the rest of the Trust to find out what other events have been going on. These are really exciting plans for the city and for the district, and I look forward to telling you more news about the progress of the bid as soon as we have it. Now, many of our services managed to keep running in some shape or form during the pandemic, and delivering our cancer services has been a priority for us here in Bradford. We are still here to help. Being aware of signs or symptoms of cancer and visiting a GP without delay is crucial in improving early diagnosis, which helps save lives. Here's colorectal consultant Mark Stewart to explain more and to provide an update on rectal cancer treatment here in Bradford.
Cancer treatments are still available with the COVID pandemic, and they've always been available throughout the whole process. So if you've got any concerns about any symptoms that are new that you're concerned about, then your GP is probably your first port of call. It is important to actually catch cancer early, and that's because the treatment that will be available may be much wider and involve options which are not as frightening as major surgery. In Bradford, we have been involved in studies which have been looking at a type of treatment called TEMS, which is an operation for rectal cancer, which means that the quality of life from that type of treatment is much better than if you have major surgery. So it's, as I say, it's very important that you go and seek early advice.
Thank you, Mark. It's really reassuring to know that our cancer services are still here for our people. Well, that's it for another busy week. You can keep up to speed with all our latest news on our social media channels. Find us on LinkedIn, Facebook and Twitter. I look forward to catching up with you again next week. In the meantime, stay safe and look after one another.